Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, let's learn. History matters. Why didn't Weimar Germany just default? After Treaty of Versailles? I don't know. Let's find out. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's learn.
Germany was saddled with after losing World War I, Germany was saddled with heavy reparations. It wasn't long before Germany's economy was in the toilet, its people were suffering massively decreased living standards, and its politicians...
That was a great neck crack, sorry.
Its economy was in the toilet, its people were suffering massively decreased living standards, and its politicians feared societal collapse. So given how bad things were in Germany, this raises the question, why didn't its leaders just default on its war payments and try to start over? So
does it really come with no repercussions?
to begin, it won't shock you to know that these payments were not seen as negotiable by the victorious Entente powers. The Treaty of Versailles wasn't a contract between...
I know it's annoying with all the pauses, but I gotta read these things. The Treaty of Peace between the dope winners and those pathetic losers in Germany. If you feel bad, you should see what we did to Hungary. Oh god.
Between equal nations, but a diktat by the victors. And most other nations simply didn't care how it would be paid, so long as it was. It took several years for the Entente powers to come up with a figure, because bickering. France and Italy wanted to crush Germany's economy forever and bury it indefinitely. Whereas
that's not very Metternichian of you. Metternich, Austrian diplomat guy. What was that? Council of Vienna? I'm trying to say that it's often not good to make a power you defeated too powerless, because then another party might take advantage of that and you might regret it.
Whereas Britain wanted a smaller figure in the hopes that Germany could then be rehabilitated and become a trading partner.
Like that.
In the end, they compromised and Germany was liable for 132 billion marks. But it was only really expected...
B bonds, C bonds. C bonds aren't really real. They're just there to make it look like we're punishing you much more than we are, so the public will stop whining. Okay.
To pay back 50 billion, which could be paid in cash or in kind, mostly coal, steel, timber, and most importantly, handheld signs. Now, this might seem like the question has been answered. I hope you enjoyed this episode with a special thanks to...
Jesus Christ, I actually fell for that for a second. I was like, no way, even for History Matters, that was short.
My patrons, James Bizanet, Sky Chappelle, Cartweets. Just kidding. For the new German president, Friedrich Ebert, and the governments that served under him, their primary objective was to get these payments reduced or eliminated. The first plan was to deliver slightly less than asked, in order to demonstrate the impossibility of repayments to garner some sympathy. Didn't happen, and in 1920, the Entente and Germany held a conference to try and work things out. And the conference came to one conclusion. Germany would pay it back, or else. With this in mind, you'd think that the German government would have done everything in their power to get the reparations delivered, but fun fact, no. Over the next 2 years, delivery of goods were delayed, smaller than expected, and in some cases non-existent. Part of this was down to some of these deliveries
8 million tons of coal by next week, please. Chop chop. Better have my money, France.
being impossible than expected.
With how stern they are, seemingly here, just the crate, that's the timber. Jesus Christ, snort. That's why I God damn it. What was I going to say?
And in some cases, non-existent. Part of this was down to some of these deliveries.
Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say. You'd think with how far they're pushing how they want their money, then they would be more... Was it a bluff, since later on they were so capitulant? Is that a word? Towards Germany when they were invading, you know, Austria and then Czechoslovakia and whatnot.
Being impossible, but in some cases it was willful. The idea was that if Germany could use these resources to build its own economy, it would be better positioned in the future to pay its reparations. This was something that Britain agreed with, but France, Belgium and Italy refused, seeing it as letting Germany off too easily. By 1922's end, Germany had been declared in default 4 times. And in January 1923, Germany defaulted again, but this time it was in terms of coal delivery, which the French desperately needed. As such, France and Belgium invaded and occupied the Ruhr, one of Germany's main coal-producing regions. Losing a part of its industrial heartland was not good for Germany, and when the German Chancellor called for non-violent resistance, its output ground to a halt. The government didn't want regular Germans who were now out of work to suffer, and so those who remained had their wages paid for by the government. This required a lot of money, and so the options were 1. Increase taxes on everybody else. 2. Take the money from another part of the budget. Or secret option number 3, just print more. This, in combination with a large increase in...
That is... Man, that is the two big no-nos, right? Is don't invade Russia in the winter and don't print too much money. It seems like, Germany suffered both there.
Part of the budget, or secret option number 3, just print more. This, in combination with a large increase in spending, led to what the Weimar Republic is best known for, the discovery of rhenium, or hyperinflation. As you'll know, hyperinflation obliterated the German economy. At the end of 1923, the government called for an end to passive resistance, issued a brand new currency, and the Entente looked into...
Gotta read that. Hopefully this currency doesn't explode like the last one, but just in case, it's important not to blame the government or its policies, but instead the Entente and their stupid treaty, which we all hate. Also, pay no mind to the rumor that we intentionally allowed hyperinflation to run amok with the intent of forcing them to renegotiate. How dare you even suggest it?
Looked into changing the terms of Germany's reparations to smooth things over. In the end, the Dawes Plan was adopted, and this opened up Germany to foreign credit and investment, which helped the country pay what it owed. This was reformed again in 1929 and 1932, at which point the Entente agreed to forgive 90% of the remaining reparations. And after the next set of elections, the next guy wasn't very interested in paying back anything at all. In the end, Germany paid back roughly 20 billion of the 50/132 billion that the Entente demanded, meaning that whilst Germany was unable to default, it was able to negotiate its way to paying only a fraction of what was demanded from it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, with a special thanks to my...
Great video. So this makes me think if the Entente accidentally struck the exact right balance, or maybe wrong balance, of allowing someone like Adolf Hitler to come to power and have a lot of support for him. Because if you punish someone so much, then they can't resist at all. If you punish them not at all, then that won't sit with the winners who want them punished. But if you punish them at this rate, then you can allow them to create a certain amount of power, but also have a lot of demand still that that country can use as a way to say to their public that this is all unfair and get more support, And so it seems to kind of be a crash course in the worst possible way to handle a defeated country. Voice crack. Does that make sense? Great video. Love y'all. Would appreciate any comments down below. Hope you learned something or can teach me something in the comments. Any comments at all or whatever. We'll love to see it. See you guys next time. Keep on learning. Bye.